Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight you've landed on the mothership once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania and everything else and all else between, ladies and gentlemen. And as the build keeps going, ladies and gentlemen, the build for this WrestleMania has not been the greatest we've ever seen on the planet. However, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading towards Philadelphia. And I can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we got to make a detour here at the Planet Experience. We're going to talk about wrestling news. We're going to talk about Miss Ronda Rousey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about all kinds of things here tonight on the Wrestling Experience. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over AEW Dynamite and what a show it was last night in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We're going to talk about that and so much more here on the Planet Experience. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Experience is powered by the Hardcore Sports, and you've landed on the mothership. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday night. Welcome to Planet Experience.
No sunlight, so cold, sleep is nice, so tired, my eyes fight, they just wanna close back up tight, get up, hoodie on, hard work at the crack of dawn, this life ain't for the weak ones, no, this life pure only for the strong, feeling slow, shake it off, don't got time for negative thoughts, red sight, got the dot, shoot my shot, I want the top, never lost, got my plot, know my story, I know my boss, I will fight against the clock, time's a limited gift from God. One day I will have my victory, crush all my enemies so viciously, work so hard my hands are blistering, and they will carve my name in history.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also through AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the Wrestling Experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here alone. No. Ladies and gentlemen, she was with us last night, and she did a great job last night. She's Wisconsin's own, ladies and gentlemen. She's got a friend named Venti, who's our bestie, ladies and gentlemen. Follow her on Twitter. Make sure you have the correct change, or she makes you snap, tap, and nap. Yes, she will, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be part of a big interview this Sunday with Blaze Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and the only Sola to the Sky.
Hey, Earl, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Excellente. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Sarah has WrestleMania in her house, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, somebody's getting ice in the freezer.
I'll take a glass of lemonade, please. Thank you. Anyway,
lemonade around here, actually.
Oh gosh, ladies and gentlemen, we always have so much fun here at the Hardcore Sports. If you miss a day, you miss a lot here at the Wrestling Experience. All you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just go back in the archives and take a peek at what we've done so far, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I failed to mention this, but last week, ladies and gentlemen, we did 10 shows. ladies and gentlemen, with 10 shows, ladies and gentlemen, we produced last week. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, I just can't believe when everything is in the books, ladies and gentlemen, we've done our homework. And then they go back and then they tell me, they're like, well, you produced 10 shows last week. It's like, well, it just never stops. Ladies and gentlemen, the buck never stops, ladies and gentlemen. If we're getting close to WrestleMania, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting more excited as we peel the days away from WrestleMania and Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get cronked. You're gonna get cronked with some of the people of the hardcore sports, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure everybody's excited about going. Mitch is excited about going with his father. This is the first time Mitch has ever been to WrestleMania. He's gonna check that off his bucket list. AK Eagles will be in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Naughty Blaze Radio will be there, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna be there, and all his naughtiness in Philadelphia.
That alone is going to be a trip and a half.
Yeah, I know. I know. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I will be in the house as well, ladies and gentlemen. 2 nights of WrestleMania, plus Raw, plus SmackDown, plus the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, plus NXT, ladies and gentlemen, and the WWE experience. So I'm gonna encompass the entire weekend, ladies. I'm gonna be all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you this much, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be great. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite, but we're going to talk about some wrestling, one of the wrestling news, and then we'll get to the rest of them later. Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey hasn't been seen in WWE for quite some time, but she made it very known today on Twitter she does not want to return to the WWE. She said, and I quote, she says that she would never, ever go back to the WWE. She called it a casting couch shit show. Interesting comments from Ronda Rousey. So what do you think of that?
Well, I can understand why she would think that because their women's division is terrible. Their women's division is terrible. Both their women's champions title reigns have been abysmal. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, both of them, they both need to lose their titles. That's what I think anyway. But I can understand why she would think that. Also, I think based on her previous comments that she made when the whole Vince McMahon scandal thing happened, it's not really see, to me, the word scandal means it's not true, but there's proof behind it. So that stuff did happen. But when all the Vince McMahon stuff came out a few months, I think it was a couple months back, that she made comments about if there's certain Vince McMahon's yes men are still there, it's like Vince is still there. So I can understand why she wouldn't want to go back if those people are still in fact there.
Right. I agree with you. I'm going to agree with the assessment. Here's the thing: when Ronda Rousey was in the WWE relationship, the second time she came to the WWE, her run was horrific.
Oh yeah,
her run was horrific. Her matches were horrific. Her promos sucked, and she just did not come off well in any form of fashion on television. And I'm glad that she retired from wrestling because it's not for her. It's not for her. It's not for her. And unfortunately, her run in the WWE was abysmal. Now, some people may disagree, and that's fine. That's fine. That's your opinion. I'm not going to trance on your thought process. But, however, my opinion and my opinion only is that she had an abysmal run. And, she kept bashing the WWE fans and everything else like that. So Ronda Rousey was not happy. in WWE. She hated it. And you
You
could
know,
tell she. Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say, I just wonder how much of that is because I mean, I thought her first run, I thought she did fine her first run, but then that second run, I agree, it was not very good at all. But I wonder how much of that is her really not being good, and how much of that is her just not giving a crap anymore and not trying and putting effort into whatever it is she's doing, whether it's the wrestling or the promos or fan interactions, you know.
Sarah, I think you should be called Shirley Holmes because you just, you just solved you just solved the mystery, Sarah. You just solved it. And there's nothing else I can say but get off the stage. There's nothing else I can say after that. There's really nothing I can add
That's
to
what I mean, that's just what I think. And I think she didn't, the second run was just so bad for her because she saw that the women's division was not getting the attention, anywhere near the attention that it deserves. They probably, of course, with Vince being there, they probably weren't being taken very seriously. And she just figured, well, why should I bother putting in the effort if I'm not being taken seriously? It's pointless. I'll collect my check and then I'll leave.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you something. I think something happened behind the scenes when she was there the first time that turned her off. I think something happened behind the
That's a good
scenes that
point.
too. Something happened behind the scene that turned her off. And then when she came back the second time, she was like, "Well, I'm not gonna put no effort into this crap. I'm not gonna put no effort into it. I'm just gonna just go off script and do these whack promos, and my wrestling is gonna be whack and everything else like that." So I'm going to agree with those lines of what you just said, Sarah, because I think that something happened and she decided to just do a monkey wrench in it, and she was like, I'm done with this. I want to get out of here as fast as possible, as expeditiously as I can possibly get, because I can't put up with this anymore. This was enough. This was enough.
Yeah.
And I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, our first run in the WWE was abysmal. It wasn't good at all. None of her matches were good at all. None of it, and she couldn't sell worth a damn.
Oh yeah,
Ladies and
her
gentlemen,
selling was terrible. She constantly was messing up her lines during the promos, and
yes,
it was like,
yes,
then if you want to go, then just go. But
right,
you shouldn't be insulting the fans like that. I don't agree with at all. But maybe it was anger from her. Like in her mind, she was thinking, "How could you guys support this when this and this and this and this is all going on, unbeknownst to us? Because we don't know that's, you know what I mean. We don't know that stuff is going on." So
right. I'm going to agree with what you just said, but you solved the mystery right then and there. For me, for me, I'm done. I mean, uh, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Ronda Rousey, hats off to you. I'm glad that you're staying away from wrestling. You're retired. You're married. You got kids. Don't worry about the WWE anymore. They're doing just fine, even though their build for WrestleMania is lackluster. But still, yep, they are doing fine. Let's just hope. Let's just hope, ladies and gentlemen, by the time this WrestleMania comes around, it produces and produces well.
I hope
Um,
so. Sure have been talking
and
it up.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what they say, ladies and gentlemen, talk is cheap, ladies and gentlemen, and proof is in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen. So we're
Very
gonna see
true.
what we're gonna see what happens with that, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna get to more wrestling news in just a moment. As we go forward here. Last night AEW took place at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Say that 10 times fast, ladies and gentlemen. In downtown Toronto,
It's a
Ontario,
tongue
Canada.
twister.
Right. Coca-Cola Coliseum, Coca-Cola Coliseum, Coca-Cola Coliseum.
I
See,
would
I
mess it
messed
up.
up.
I would
Yeah,
so
yeah,
mess it up.
you did it. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, the show was great. The show was fantastic. Me and Sarah did a marathon last night, ladies and gentlemen. A 3 hour and 22 minute show, ladies and gentlemen. And it was absolutely great. And again, I want to thank Sarah for being such a loyal soldier throughout the whole thing. Yeah, you know, she was such a loyal soldier, ladies and gentlemen. Nick had to conk out, ladies and gentlemen, because he had to get up in the morning. He couldn't go anymore. He ran out of gas. But anyway, he did help us with Dynamite last night, and we had a blast with that, ladies and gentlemen. We had a good time. So um, let's talk about that for a second. So let me ask you a question. What did you make of last night's show, and what did you think of the build?
I thought it was excellent. It was, the third week in a row where Dynamite was good. Um, I'm trying not to get overly excited about it. I'm remaining cautiously optimistic that they're now,
Mhm.
3 weeks in a row. The show has been good. The pace has been really good. Everything has made sense. They haven't had pointless matches or pointless promos or backstage segments at all. They're either building towards something happening at Dynasty or something happening before the next pay-per-view, Dynasty. So yeah, I mean, everything made sense. I thought it was great. They have a very good show last night. Very good.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with the assessment. The matches were fine. The like Trevor said, the pace was great. Great chemistry, great nuance in the match, ladies and gentlemen. The main event was something else. Oh my God, that main event. Oh my God, geez, ladies and gentlemen. Jinkies, ladies and gentlemen. It was woolly, it was woolly wild and all over the place, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it
And
was.
ladies and
Literally.
gentlemen,
It was all over the
yeah.
place.
It
Literally.
was all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. But in the end, ladies and gentlemen, it's what we call in the wrestling business just dessert booking. Nick Wayne and his mom and everyone else in the planet got what they deserved, ladies and gentlemen. And Edge went into that main event, ladies and gentlemen, and kept kicking Christian in the maple leaf, ladies and gentlemen. In the corner, and he showed the baddie to Christian. Baddie was like, "Well, if you don't want it to be cut open, I think you better say I quit." And that's what Christian did. He says, "No, no, 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 I'm done. I quit." And Edge became the new TNT champion. But we're gonna talk about that in the main event. But let's talk about this first match. It was Tony Storm and Mariah May taking on Deanna Purrazzo and of course Thunder Rosa. The match was fine. The match was all right. The only thing I was shocked about in the match, the whole thing, Thunder Rosa pinned Tony. She pinned Tony Storm clean, ladies and gentlemen. That was shocking. I was not expecting that. I don't like to see the champion get pinned, ladies and gentlemen. Not a good look, for the champion. But I guess it fit the narrative because I guess this is the road they're gonna travel on with Thunder Rosa and of course Tony Storm. She might be defending that title at Dynasty. That hasn't been official, but I have a feeling that it will be very soon, and that will be Thunder Rosa. So I'm going to look to Sarah for Sarah. Well, there's nobody else here, but anyway, Sarah.
I know what you meant. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah, what do you think of the match? And what did you make of it? Mm.
I mean, I thought it was good. They had good back and forth. Both teams had good back and forth. Everybody had a very good showing. I was confused though. I don't understand why Deonna Purrazzo was getting an attitude at the end. I don't know if it was she didn't want Thunder Rosa to pin Toni Storm. She felt she should pin her. I don't know, but she kept giving her the dirty looks and the side eye and all this other stuff. So that I was just like, okay. But yeah, and I think that, and I completely agree with you. I think that is the route they're going to take is it's going to be Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm at Dynasty, and I can see her taking the title off of Toni Storm because Thunder Rosa she never lost her title. So
no,
they owe her a receipt, a big receipt.
And I always say that to some people that I feel that were wronged in the booking. Ladies and gentlemen, the booking just didn't do them justice, and they owe them a receipt. Now, as I said before, ladies and gentlemen, Thunder Rosa was the champion at the time, but she had to relinquish it because of injuries. Ladies and gentlemen, but here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, she never lost the title.
Nope.
But here's my question. Here's my question. Daniel Berry, the sports. How are you? Here's the question I have. Here's the question. Ladies and gentlemen, are you going to have if you're going to put the title on Thunder Rosa again? Would you all please do me a favor and make sure that the title run is relevant? Because the first time she was champion, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't relevant. They didn't really do much with her when she was the champion. Everybody and their mom was clamoring for her to get that title, Thunder Rosa. And when she did get the title, and when she got the title, and when she won the title, they didn't do anything with her in the booking. They didn't do anything. There was nothing awe-inspiring with her booking. So I was just like, now, why would you put a title on somebody that you don't even want to invest your time with? I don't understand it.
I don't think we're going to have that problem this time, though. Tony Khan and AEW, they've been doing a pretty consistent job of building up the women's division, especially with Mercedes Moné coming to AEW last week for Big Business. And you got to figure, too, we've still got Dr. Britt Baker that's out with injury that's going to be coming back. We still have, oh, good Lord, I can't think of her name. It's escaping me. She's out, I believe, with a shoulder injury.
Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter, yes, thank you. We still have Jamie Hayter that's going to be coming back. So the AEW has probably got the best women's division, I think. They have the best women's division, and I can't imagine them putting the title on Thunder Rosa and not doing something with it.
Right.
So.
I'm going to agree. With the assessment. So I'm hoping if they do put that title on Thunder Rosa, that they give her some credibility and they give her some legitimacy, and they make her title run irrelevant. Because I won't accept anything less. I want to see her as a champ. I want to have her some credibility with that title and some legitimacy with the title. And don't just overgloss her and just put the title on and then do nothing with her. Gregor John, how are you tonight? Such a loyal soldier, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Kingston took on Okada for the AEW Continental Championship. The match was fine, but what we got in the end was very shocking. Eddie Kingston lost his title to Okada. First of all, I had thought that this match was going to take place on the pay-per-view. That did not happen. I would have thought that if it was on Dynamite, they would have Eddie retain. Or we would get some kind of swerve or get a double, the time limit. No, we didn't get none of that. We didn't get none of that. Eddie Kingston lost the title to Okada, and the young children were on Gorilla, ladies and gentlemen,
That was
bugging the
obnoxious.
yes, and they're bugging Tony Khan at Gorilla, ladies and gentlemen. But so what did you make of the match?
I was surprised they decided to do this on a random episode of Dynamite because they made such a big deal with the Continental Classic with the with all those matches. They made this such a big deal. It was fantastic. I mean, all those matches were wonderful. All those guys fought their butts off to try to get the title. And to me, it was kind of like it was unceremoniously taken off of Eddie Kingston on an episode of Dynamite. That I'm like, for something you guys made such a big deal about, that's the only problem. I mean, I don't care if Okada has it, but it's like it should be a bigger deal that he won. They should have made it a bigger deal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna.
But the match was great. I enjoyed the match very much. They both did wonderful. I enjoyed the match very much. It just was kind of like, really, on an episode of Dynamite, this seems like it should be a bigger deal.
Right. So I'm going to agree with what Sarah says here. I'm going to agree with the assessment because I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm going to say this. I was not expecting Kingston to lose the match. I was not expecting that. I thought that this match was going to end in a double, no finish, and then we would have gotten a rematch at the pay-per-view. That's what I thought. But that's not the way Tony Khan thought. And like Sarah says, it's like I'm glad that Okada won, but then in his stages, it didn't have that punch factor to it. Yeah, that punch factor to it. It didn't have that pay-per-view feel vibe to it. It's just like, okay, just take the belt off and put it on Okada and let's keep it moving. So it's like that. It's like that was the attitude. Exactly. It was just like that was the attitude. And I didn't understand that. I didn't get that at all. I mean, it didn't make sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, they, like I said before, they made it such a big deal to win this championship, but then they very unceremoniously had Eddie Kingston drop the title to Okada. I thought, like you, that they would have done something where Okada would lose, or they would have a time limit draw or something to where they would have a rematch at Dynasty, and then Eddie would lose the championship. But I think for the importance they put on this title, it deserved better than to be the title to change hands on Dynamite. But that's just right. Like I said, that's just my opinion. So
no, I mean, I like I said, I agree with the assessment. I agree. There was the match had no je ne sais quoi to it. And I just wish that they would have left. I just wish that if you were going to make the title change, you should have did it on a pay-per-view level. I don't know. It just left me very, like, a head scratcher. Like, why would you? I don't understand that. I could understand that. A double count out would have worked. A time limit draw would have worked. Something of that nature would have worked, but in this instance, again, I'm happy. Like Sarah said, I'm happy that Okada won the match. The match was good. I'm not taking away from the match. The match was all right, but this left me a little flat, a little bit. It just didn't have the punch that I was looking for. No. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to this. The Thunder Rosa match. So on an entertainment level, what do you give it?
7. Thought it was all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same wavelength, and a 7 it works. In the Planet Experience, it works. Yeah, the match was fine. The match was all right. Like I said, everybody played their part well in the match, and everything was fine. So, all right. Eddie Kingston and Okada. What entertainment level do you give that? Oh,
Mm, I'd probably give that one a 6.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go down and give this match a 5. I'm gonna go down and give this a 5. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this just wasn't good. I mean, the match was, like I said, the match was fine. I'm not saying the match was terrible. The title change was just an afterthought, and that sucks. All right. Swerve Strickland took on a jobber, local talent.
Some random guy.
I don't remember. I forgot his name, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. But Swerve wins the match. The squash. It was one of those. It's one of those squash matches. It's an open challenge, and him and Joe are in a collision course, ladies and gentlemen. And then Don Callis comes on the stage and talks about Takeshita. So next week on Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, we have a number one contenders match. It's Takeshita taking on Swerve Strickland, and the winner of that match, ladies and gentlemen, will get Samoa Joe at Dynasty.
Oh, did they confirm that?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of figured as much, but they didn't say anything to that effect last night. So
Right. So I'm going to say with all uncertainty here that I believe they're going to have Swerve go over in the match to take on Samoa Joe, and he's going to defeat Mr. Takeshita, or as MJF call it, take a what up?
take a shit up. I'll say it. I don't care.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that. All right. So let's talk about this next. Hold on one second. All right, we have that. Oh, I forgot, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't a jobber. Swerve Strickland took on the Butcher. I forgot about that. I forgot.
Challenge. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't hate me on Twitter. I thought it was a.
Sorry, it was. We did over an over 3-hour show, so
Right, exactly. Right, exactly.
It's fine.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. So don't come to me with I apologize, Lisa. But anyway, let's go back. The Butcher took on Swerve Strickland on an entertainment level. So what do you made it? Would you give it?
You're gonna laugh. I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought it was all right. It wasn't super fantastic. It wasn't terrible. I thought they both did great. Once again, it's advancing Swerve to be able to get to Samoa Joe. So,
I'm going to give this match a 6.2. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. Swerve goes over in the match. He challenged Takeshita. Joe is going to find out who his number one contender is next week. And we're going to move forward in the program. An interview with Mercedes Moné. Sarah, what'd you think of it?
I want to see her in actually wrestling in a match. I don't want to just hear her talking week after week.
Right.
I get it. They're probably trying to ease her into things since she hasn't been on TV on a regular basis in a couple of years, but it's like enough already.
Right.
I want to see her in the ring. I want to see her interacting with other talent. I just don't want to see and hear her in the ring talking. So
Right.
that was my only thing. I mean, as far as like entertainment, I wasn't like entertained by it. I mean,
Right.
it
Yeah,
just
we can't.
she was there and she said what she had to say, and that was that. I mean, I actually enjoyed her. I got more enjoyment out of watching her backstage with her backstage interaction with Chris Statlander than I did in her doing another promo in the ring. So
Right, exactly. I'm going to agree with you with that. I think the promo stuff needs to be put away right now. At this
yeah,
point, we need to see some action from her. And when are you going to put her in her first match? Here's the thing. I think it should be done on the pay-per-view. I don't want to see it on Dynamite. I don't want to see it on Collision, and I certainly don't want to see it on Rampage. No, I want to see her perform on the pay-per-view calendar, and I want to see her with a prominent person, not somebody that's just like random and it's an afterthought. No, I want to see her with somebody. Put her with somebody.
I have a feeling her first match is probably going to be with Willow. I'm hoping so that way they can put that to bed and Willow can continue on doing what she's, whatever she's going to be doing, and then Mercedes can
Right,
on. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's Julia Hart because, they did have, a small interaction in the ring last night between Julia Hart and Sky Blue and Mercedes. So they did have a small interaction in the ring. It wasn't anything major, but so I could see that being the case too if that was her first match. But
right. I think that Willow Nightingale match would be good.
yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. That interaction would be great. But like Sarah said, she still's got the number one contenders match against Julia Hart, and when is that going to take place? And that hasn't been finalized yet, nor materialized as to when we're going to see that match. But and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, getting back to Okada for a second, Pac came on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Pac and Okada on a collision course for that newly won title, and that probably will happen at the pay per view as well. All right, let's talk about this next match. Strange bedfellow booking, as I called it, because me and Sarah, we were like looking at each other, and we were like, they were in a tag match last week. Why would you put the it's almost like, ladies and gentlemen, making a peanut butter sandwich and putting a meatloaf in it. It doesn't go. It doesn't go, ladies and gentlemen. A peanut butter sandwich and a meatloaf just doesn't work. Um it's not good. Um but in any instance, Chris Jericho took on Hook. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. I again, like I said, they were tag team partners last week. Hook shocked the world and defeated Jericho. So what did you think of the match?
I thought the match was good, other than just the confusion of they're tagged. They just tagged in a match. Why are they going against each other? I don't know if it's because they want, Chris Jericho is kind of like the gatekeeper of AEW. So
Right,
you've got to, and I said this last night, maybe it's they're trying to make it where, you've got to have a match and beat Chris Jericho before you get a big push or something. Not sure. But I thought they both did excellent in the match. Hook is great. Jericho still can move like crazy considering his age. And then at the end, in that backstage interview with Renee Paquette, Jericho said that he had a business proposition for Hook. So I don't know if that means he wants to be like permanent tag partners for the time being, like with Sammy Guevara still being suspended, or if he's going to propose that maybe he's Hook's manager or something like that. I'm not sure. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see next week. But yeah, I thought the match was fine. They did a great job.
I'm gonna agree with your assessment. I'm gonna agree with it, and I thought that they did a great job. And again, like I said, yeah, that business proposition. I'm very kind of curious to see exactly what we're gonna get at that business proposition. What is it? Sarah brought up some great scenarios, ladies and gentlemen. That's why she has a great mind for analytics, and that's why she's a Hall of Famer, and that is why she is my co-pilot, ladies and gentlemen. She fills that donut hole with the cream, ladies and gentlemen, and she gets the job done, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Yeah. And I don't have anything to say after that. So the like I said, the match was fine. The match was all right. On an entertainment level, so what do you give this match?
I'll give this one a 7 as well, simply because I'm really interested to see what this, what becomes of this business proposition that he has for Hook. So yeah, I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
I'm going to say this was a 7.2. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. Everybody played their part well in the match. Great chemistry, great nuance in the match. Had no issues with it whatsoever. So I thought it was fine. All right. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I Quit match. We're up to the main event.
Dun, dun, dun.
Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, part number 3. Ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. Part number 3 was one of the most compelling, hard-hitting, non-stop, bottom for your dollar, entertainment for your dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, this match was woolly, wild, and all over the place. And the crowd went apoplectic. It went apoplectic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this was a first in an I Quit match. These men fought in the ladies' room. In the ladies' room. It was, we had a meeting in the ladies' room. I'll be back real soon. I'm old school, ladies and gentlemen. Look the song up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, ladies and Anyway, I was watching them as they went into, and that's the song that came into my head. It's like it's got a meeting in the ladies. I'll be back real. Yes, that's all. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. The match was fantastic. The match was fine. I love the ending when Christian was handcuffed to the ring post. And Adam Copeland kept kicking him in the maple leaf, ladies and gentlemen, until Barbie came out, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah was choking. I felt bad for her. I had to ask if she was all right at one point because I was calling the match, and he kept kicking him in the...
You said it right as I was taking a drink of water, and I wasn't expecting you to say it. And that's what made me cough, because, I partially inhaled some of the water I was drinking, so then I started coughing like crazy.
And I felt bad because I said, "Oh my God, I choked my co-pilot." Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
I killed her.
I said, now she's gonna quit after this. I'm not working with this dude anymore.
No. Never. Nothing more than that to scare me away.
But I couldn't help it because it was so profound. He kept kicking him in the maple leaf, and he kept kicking him, man.
So funny. Oh my God. So it's like you saying that and then actually seeing it like on the screen. It was just a perfect storm.
It was
just a perfect storm.
I had to call what I was seeing. He kept doing it until Christian said I quit. He quit, ladies and gentlemen, and he coughed up that title, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the match, the main event was fine. The great chemistry, great nuance in the match, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah, what did you thought of the match?
I thought it was excellent. I enjoyed the fact that obviously it's an I Quit match, so they didn't just keep it in the ring. They went all around in the audience. They went backstage. They went in the ladies' room. They went by the concessions. They came back out. And of course, we all called it. Of course, you've got Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne's mom coming out to cause grief. So we all kind of anticipated. We both anticipated, and Nick as well anticipated that would happen. But I'm really glad that Adam Copeland had backup in Daniel Garcia and Daddy Magic. That they ran down and kind of evened the odds a little bit. And at the end, when they handcuffed the three of those guys into their individual corners and scared off Nick Wayne's mom, I was like, holy crap, it's actually going to happen. Because when Shayna Wayne first came out, I'm thinking, okay, crap, here we go. And then the other two came down. I was like, oh, they better not have Adam Copeland win. Like, he's already lost the first two matches together. Through nefarious means, no less. So yeah, I mean, I thought the match was awesome. I liked the back and forth that they had. I liked the fact that Adam Copeland had backup come down. Finally, he had backup come down to help him, and he ended up with the title. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, it was compelling television, ladies and gentlemen. It was compelling television, to say none the least. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, when he kept doing that to him in the corner, I was just like,
at the very end, when he went up to each individually and that was great.
And he showed them how he felt about them and tell them that they were number one. Yeah,
number one.
And don't you just love when someone tells you that, ladies and gentlemen? Don't you just love when somebody tells you that you're number one? Don't that feel good? Don't that make you feel good?
It's warranted.
Yes, it's warranted. Right, exactly. And they tell you so.
But I hope that they don't have Christian do his rematch or call out Adam Copeland for his rematch, and then they just put the title right back on Christian like they did when they had Luchasaurus come out because he won that battle royal and the title off of Adam Copeland literally a minute or two after he won it. I thought that was BS. Like, that was just stupid. Why even bother have him win it in the first place? So I really hope that this sticks this time, that they don't just take the title off of him and put it back on Christian. Because Christian, I've said this before, love him or hate him, he is doing some of the best work he's done in his career, and he doesn't need a title to keep doing that. He really doesn't.
Right. And I'm quite sure, ladies and gentlemen, that he's going to invoke his rematch clause. And that will, and I'm quite sure that will happen at the pay-per-view. And I'm quite sure, ladies and gentlemen, he wants that title back. But let's just hope that this time you don't play hot potato with it, Tony, and grant his wishes. If you're going to have a rematch at the pay-per-view, he needs to retain. And retain he should. Ladies and gentlemen, Not paper champion. No. Mm-mm. Not a good look.
Exactly.
So on an entertainment level, so what do you give this match?
I give this match a 9. I really liked it a lot. They both did awesome.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give this match a 9.5, ladies and gentlemen. 9.5. Ladies and gentlemen, this match was absolutely great, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the best part was the ending. When he was handcuffed there, he took out Barbie and he was like, well, I'm going to spike you and I'm going to spike you good. And he was just like, Kristen was like, no, I don't want to get hit with that. I'm done. I quit. And that was it. He was finished, ladies and gentlemen. And then Adam Copeland kept kicking him, like I said, in the Maple Leaf, ladies and gentlemen. Or the Sanjay Dutt, as everybody goes, as my esteemed colleague created, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the Sanjay Dutt.
Like I said, one of my better thoughts. One of my better ideas.
No, no, wait, it was extraordinary. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. However you want to call it, ladies and gentlemen, Maple Leaf, Sanjay Dutt, or the Beans and the Franks, whatever it is, whatever it works, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
get the picture. You guys get
You
it.
get the picture, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when we go to All Out or All In London, we're going to have to call it Tea and Crumpets, ladies and gentlemen, if they get there in the Tea and Crumpets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. He got kicked in the Westminster Abbey, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway.
Clock tower.
Exactly. Right in the Big Ben. And whatever works, ladies and
Same difference.
exactly. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dynamite.
Oh my God, look at my picture. I did not do that. I promise I did not do that, Earl. That's not me.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh.
I did not do that. I promise I didn't do it. Because yesterday I didn't have a picture there at all. Today I've got your Home Alone face.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen.
It might be Mitch's maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, a programming note, ladies and gentlemen, before we go to wrestling news. This Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, Inside the Mind, I'm going to be on Inside the Mind at 10:30, ladies and gentlemen, with Mitch Kowski. Tune into that show, ladies and gentlemen, at 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. And then the ladies of Raw will be on Naughty Blaze Radio channel. They're going to come on the channel and they're going to turn that show upside down. Ladies and gentlemen. They're going to get crunked on Sunday night. So if you want to see the ladies of Raw and the Blaze Radio, go to the Hardcore Sports Network, go to Blaze Radio, and make sure that you enjoy the show and support and subscribe and everything else in between. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about some wrestling news. During a recent episode of his Grilling JR podcast, a curious fan posed a question regarding the length of Ross's new contract and whether it signaled the end of his illustrious announcing career. Ross responded candidly, acknowledging the fact, saying, "I think so. It's realistic to think that way. I can't think realistically that this could be my last year, and more than likely it will." He emphasized that the decision ultimately hinges on factors such as his health and the extent to which AEW intends to utilize him. Currently, Ross is slated to work primarily on pay-per-view events and providing commentary once a month. So it looks like JR is going to be done after this year, and he's going to retire. And I don't have any problem with that. It's going to be sad to see JR leave the broadcasting world, but he gave us some memorable moments. In the JR
I
as
still associate him and Jerry the King Lawler with Raw.
yes.
Watching them, like since I mean, they were the first real commentary team that I remember from when I was a kid. So, I was sad when King retired from broadcasting, and I know I'm going to be sad when JR does, but he's had a very long career. He's definitely put in the work. Even before WWE. I mean, he was in WCW for crying out loud. Like, and I'm sure and I know he was in promotions before that. So,
Right.
I mean, I hope they do a big send off for him though. I
Yeah, I
really do
do.
hope they do a big send off for JR. I think that would be more than appropriate. Very appropriate.
Yeah, I think so too. And I also, JR also is synonymous with the time that he got burnt by Kane on
Oh yeah, I
television.
remember that. I remember
He
that
did.
episode of Raw.
Yeah. He interviewed Kane, and Kane flipped on him, and he gave him second-degree burns, and JR had to been put on the shelf and everything else. It was something else.
I mean, I
Um,
remember when he announced Owen Hart passed away.
yeah,
When that
that was
happened,
hard.
I can't
That,
imagine what he was going through when he had to make that announcement on a live pay-per-view, nonetheless. Like,
yeah, it was tough for everyone involved. Ladies and gentlemen, um, Owen Hart lost his life in the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, and it was in front of the crowd in Kansas City, and it was a tough. And when I'm saying tough, ladies and gentlemen, it was a tough pay-per-view, and everybody was angry with the WWE and how they handled the whole situation and how they just kept the pay-per-view going. I mean, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if it was Tony Khan and this happened, he would have pulled the plug on that pay-per-view in a minute. I don't think he would have continued with
oh,
the show.
absolutely,
Tony
absolutely. Tony
Khan
would
would have
let that
pulled the
go on.
plug. Yeah, Tony Khan would have pulled the plug right
No,
then and there, ladies and gentlemen. He would have
much
pulled the
less
plug right then
if
and there.
like Endeavor and Ari Emanuel were involved like they are now, they would not have let that go on.
No,
There's
I
no,
know they wouldn't. No,
there's no
there's no way. There was no way that. If it happened in this time, in this era, late 70s, there would be no way we will be
no,
continuing with this
no,
pay per view. No, no. It wouldn't have continued. They would have pulled it right off the air, and that would have been it for the night. So, um, Tony Khan is reportedly still mad at Jack Perry over the CM Punk situation. He has not been fired. He's absolutely not been fired yet. But they're not using him. Essentially, Tony's really mad at him because he cost him CM Punk and he's getting the blame. Um, well, something. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, Jack Perry, ladies and gentlemen, if you all don't know, was in the ring at a recent I guess it was an independent show, and he ripped up the AEW contract that he had with AEW. Now I don't know what that means. I don't know what that symbolizes. But Perry has been
hopefully he's
suspended.
gone.
Perry has been suspended, ladies and gentlemen,
Bye.
and he's been suspended. And according to Dave Meltzer, the punishment, according to Dave Meltzer, Meltzer says that the punishment doesn't fit the crime at this point. And he should have been suspended for a month or two. Again, like I said before, Perry should have been suspended a long. He should have been terminated too. I would have terminated him for this incident,
Yep.
and it should have been just CM Punk getting terminated. At this point, but yeah, I mean, if he's still bad with Perry, then then get rid of him. Then release him from his contract instead of keep having him on the shelf. Um, Sarah, what do you think about that?
Bye. Like, a lot of people they still, I think, some people want to blame solely, they want to blame Punk for everything. And I've said this since all that crap happened with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. It takes two people to make stuff work. It also takes, or two parties to make things work. It takes two parties for things, for a fight to happen. So did CM Punk, screw up and lost his temper and things like that? Did he do things the wrong way? Sure. But I also think that Jack Perry totally perpetuated that and made it much, 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 much worse. So I think if you're going to fire or terminate the contract of one side, you should do it for the other side as well. What's fair is fair. So that's what I think. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Jack Perry can stay in New Japan. Bye.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm going to agree with that too. I'm going to agree with that because they have this. There's a saying, ladies and gentlemen, it takes two to tango. Ladies and gentlemen, and the Perry had a lot of hand in this incident. It wasn't just Punk that flipped out on everybody backstage and wanted to kill and wanted to put his hands on Tony Khan. No, this was Perry's doing. He should have been in the locker room where he belongs. He shouldn't have been in the gorilla position. He shouldn't have been behind this curtain, and he shouldn't have been peeking at the match.
Yep.
That's not your business. That's not your business. Your match is over with. Go back in the locker room and start getting ready and get dressed and go to the next city. That is what you're supposed to do when you're a wrestler. When you're done, ladies and gentlemen, performing in front of the audience, you go back in that curtain, you go back to the locker room, you grab your bag, you take a shower, you put your clothes back on, your street clothes, and you start packing up because you're gonna leave with the group. You gotta get out of here. So I'm sorry, but you're just as guilty as Punk was here. Your hands were all greasy in the whole thing, so you should have gotten the same treatment as Punk did. And that's all I'm saying at this point.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, couldn't have said it better myself. I completely agree.
I mean, if I was in a situation with somebody, and all I got was a slap in the wrist and suspended, and the other person got fired, that's not fair. That's not fair. I mean, we both had a hand in it. Or is that word that Sarah always liked to use, complicit? We were both complicit in the whole thing. So if you are complicit in the whole thing, then you should get the same stick of punishment. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. But like Sarah said, bye. Check. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I say. I've got one word for you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right, let's talk about Becky Lynch. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Lynch revealed that she had no say in squashing the match against Bianca Belair at SummerSlam 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, in her autobiography, Becky mentioned that she spotted the EST of the WWE crying backstage and went up to assure her that she would give it right back to her when the time was right. When she did, Now, which she did. Lynch was defeated by Bianca in a high stakes title bout at WrestleMania 38. Moreover, the former women's champion also stated that it was Vince McMahon's idea to go ahead and squash her, and Becky Lynch had no say in the former champion's decision, the chairman's decision. So Becky Lynch revealed, ladies and gentlemen, in that 26-second squash of Bianca. It wasn't her. She wasn't for it. But here's the thing: McMahon at the time did not think Bianca was marketable as a champion, so he wanted to take that title off of her, and the only way to do it was to write the ending to the squash match. So he wanted to squash her and embarrass her in front of everybody at the SummerSlam. So that is what he did. And it was done behind Becky Lynch's back. Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Lynch had no idea that was taking place until she went through the curtain and they told her in Gorilla, this is what you're going to do in the match. So Bianca was unbeknownst to her that this was going to happen to her because they told her one thing behind the scenes, but then when Becky Lynch came through the curtain, they told her something different. McMahon flipped the script.
Of course they're not going to tell Bianca what's going to happen to her. Come on. It's Vince McMahon we're talking about.
Right, exactly. So McMahon flipped the script on Bianca and orchestrated the squash. Sarah, what do you think?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but I mean, what's done is done. I mean, what are you going to do about it? It's been 3 years, almost 3 years since that happened. It's like, build a bridge and get over it.
Right.
Pardon my language, but shit happens. It's not like Becky Lynch had a say in it. And even if Becky had known about it in advance, would Vince McMahon really have listened to Becky Lynch? Of course not. No. He wouldn't have listened to her. So
he wouldn't have listened
to really do about it.
Right, no. And another thing too is that he wouldn't have listened to Reason anyway. You would have told him that you wouldn't have listened to Reason because we all know that his way was the highway. And that's it. And if you went against that highway, you were going to get punished.
Yeah.
Look what happened to CJ Perry, and how many times did he put her through at the table? How many times did he put her through a table on Raw to punish her? Because she kept going against him against the booking. So he fixed her. Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean,
by the way,
he never listened to any of the women on the roster. He didn't for many, many, many years because he found no value in them. To him, they were just eye candy. Why do you think it was just so much gratuitous sexual content?
Right.
Especially during, the Attitude Era and the Ruthless, especially in the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression Era. The bra and panty matches and the skimpy outfits and stuff like that. He doesn't care.
No. And
he didn't value women's wrestling at all. I mean, he was having them do 2-minute matches constantly.
Right, exactly.
There's constant 2-minute matches. It's crazy. And if you try to go against that, oh, you're right. They were definitely punished.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And most immediately. Oh, you were sidetracked and punished, and you would not be getting a push. You can forget about that. No, you weren't getting a push.
No, you weren't getting anything.
You weren't getting a push. You weren't getting nada. As Nick would say, nana.
Yeah, nana.
That's right. So, you could say whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen, but that was the case with Becky Lynch, ladies and gentlemen. That was the case. I kind of knew. I kind of knew it wasn't her idea. I had a feeling that I always wanted to know. It's like, wait, who thought of this? What bird brain thought of this booking to squash her like that?
There's only one person they would think of doing something like that. Becky Lynch, she's not vindictive like that.
Right.
She would tear down another woman like that. Like she wouldn't no. So you guys, anybody that's out there still blaming Becky for that crap, you can stop. You should have stopped a long, long time ago.
Exactly. I agree. I agree with the assessment. So, all right. So let's talk about this next story, ladies and gentlemen. WWE fans have received an update on the status of General Manager Nick Aldis, confirming the severity of his injury on social media. Now, you all didn't, I don't know if you all heard of last night, but I did say Nick Aldis suffered a tricep injury and he had to get surgery, ladies and gentlemen. Following the earlier reports regarding Nick Aldis' injury and possibility of a surgery, fans have waited for further developments. On March the 20th, Aldis himself took to social media to provide clarity on the situation. In his post, Aldis confirmed the unfortunate news of his rupture of his bicep tendon, shedding light on the circumstances surrounding the injury with a touch of humor. He remarked on a swift dissemination of the information by social media outlets. Despite the setback, Aldis has reassured fans that he's on the path to recovery and intends to honor his commitments during his role on SmackDown. He said, yes, I just got out of surgery for a ruptured bicep tendon, and yes, the sheets had it within minutes. God bless him. Must be a slow news day. Anyway, it was a freak accident. I'm on the mend, and I will continue to fulfill my obligations with the WWE. So
did he like specify what happened? What caused it?
He just said it was a freak accident.
Okay. I didn't know if he had specified at all.
No, he didn't.
No. Okay. I can't really, I'm not one for a ton of social media anyway, but even with more so when I'm at work, like I do not have time to sit there and look at social media and look out for this stuff. So
right.
I just didn't know if he had specified if it was like when he was working out or if he was doing, practicing stuff in the ring or whatever. So.
Right. No, he didn't say. He just said he just mentioned it was a freak accident.
Freak accident. Oh, that sucks.
So he's on the mend and he got the surgery and we wish Nick Aldis the best, but he's going to be wearing a brace for a while. He's going to be wearing that brace.
It's not like he's it's not like he's an actual in-ring wrestler. Like he's a backstage manager. Like he's an on-stage on-screen personality. He, he doesn't have a super duper physical role, which he can still be on TV wearing an arm brace.
Exactly. I agree with your assessment, Sarah. So, Nick Aldis will be wearing that for a while, but he said he'll do his obligations with SmackDown and the WWE. So that's good.
Like I said, he should. I mean, there's no reason why he can't. He's not wrestling, so
exactly.
It shouldn't affect his work. So
no. And ladies and gentlemen, our last story is about Mauro Ranallo. ladies and gentlemen. Mauro Ranello looks like he's returning to the square circle for wrestling. After his notable absence from the pro wrestling scene, Ranello could be on the verge of making a comeback. According to Fightful Select, indicates that Major League Wrestling has been engaged in conversation with Ranello regarding a possible collaboration. With no agreement has been finalized, there appears to be a genuine interest from MLW in bringing him on board. This interest seems to be from Ranello's previous collaboration with MLW's owner Kurt Bauer on Strikeforce project. That's interesting. Mauro Ranello, it looked like he's coming back to wrestling. He was in WWE, ladies and gentlemen, for a while, and then he decided to quit because I believe it was because of JBL and everything else behind the scenes, and there was some stuff going on behind the scenes with him and JBL.
He's a jackass.
So Ranello looks like he's coming back. I don't have any problem with it. I like it. I like him as a wrestling commentator. I think he's great. I like when he did Mamma Mia. That was my favorite. You know, when he saw something dramatic, he used to Mamma Mia, and he used to, especially when he was in NXT. When he called the NXT matches, I thought he was really good at that. When he used to call those black and gold matches,
he's excellent. I think he would be great in AEW since they got rid of Kevin Kelly. I think he would be great with Nigel and Tony Schiavone on Collision on Saturdays. I think he'd be great.
I think that would fit very well. He would fit very well with Collision. He would bring some real drama to Collision and calling those matches.
Oh yeah.
He would tear the house down with his matches, with his calls, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is wrestling news. Ladies and gentlemen, that is wrestling news. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we fly out, if you all have any questions for me and Sarah tonight, please don't hesitate to ask us in the chat. We greatly appreciate it. We can answer any kind of not. Let me just back that up for a second. We can't answer every single question, but we can answer within reason. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a wrestling question, you can certainly put it in the chat, and we will answer it as best as possible. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you our lineup for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Hall of Fame Nick will bring you Friday night SmackDown tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, as Orange Cassidy's bestie. Mitch Konsky is unavailable. He is unavailable for that telecast. And Mitch asked me to work with Nick, so me and Nick will bring you Friday night SmackDown tomorrow night at 7 Eastern. And ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last time I work with Sarah. And ladies and gentlemen, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Mitch is unavailable. So I'll be working with Nick tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Then we move over, ladies and gentlemen. Then we move over to Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Raw will be my final telecast, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to bring you Monday Night Raw from Rosemont, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, and the All-State Arena, known as the Rosemont Horizon, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to bring you that telecast on Monday night. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to Wednesday night again. Me and Hall of Fame Sarah and Nick will bring you AEW Dynamite. Wait, gentlemen. AEW Dynamite. Dynamite. And next Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby from All Star Wrestling Podcast will be making his debut here on the Wrestling Experience. Bobby's going to be coming on, with a special start time of 8 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to bring you that telecast, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to help us rewind Dynamite, Sarah, and he's going to help us predict WrestleMania's night number 1, night number 2, ladies and gentlemen, and that will be my. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be my final wrestling experience before I go on hiatus, ladies and gentlemen. And then, ladies and gentlemen, my final appearance of all time, ladies and gentlemen, will be on April the 3rd. We will bring you AEW Dynamite, and that will do it for me, because after that, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta pack my clothes, I gotta pack a bag, and we're heading to Philadelphia, IA. Ladies and gentlemen, and I cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get crunktified on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday and Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a weekend we will never forget. Ladies and gentlemen. So we're looking forward to WrestleMania 40 weekend, as we get closer and closer and closer and closer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for popping into the chat tonight, and I hope me and Sarah had entertained you, ladies and gentlemen, as we always do here at the Wrestling Experience, and on this mothership, ladies and gentlemen. Again, like I said before we say goodnight, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, let us know in the chat. We greatly appreciate all your questions and comments. Ladies and gentlemen. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention this. Sunday, we're going to be very busy here at the Hardcore Sports, because I'm going to be on in the morning with Mitch. Ladies and gentlemen. Orange Cassidy's bestie. Mitch Kosky. Mitch Kosky and I will be doing Inside the Mind. Ladies and gentlemen. And boy, am I nervous about this, because, again, like I said before, I don't know what Mitch is going to ask me. I have no idea what I'm going to be in for. But you need to tune into that telecast, because it's going to be something short of, well, I don't know about sensational, but we'll find out on Sunday morning.
Fine. Fine.
So I'm in the hand of Mitch, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not the one interviewing Mitch. Mitch is doing the interviewing with me, and we'll find out what he has cooked in his cook pot. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the ladies of Raw will be on Blaze Radio's channel. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be on Blaze, and that is going to be off the hook, to say none the least. Now, the last time.
That's at 7:30 Eastern.
Okay, so that is at 7:30, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to interview the ladies, and I am quite sure they're going to all get crunktified on that show, because I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't see Queens of the Ring with him on there, oh boy, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. And what Sarah said at the end of the show was absolutely one of the most entertaining. My jaw fell on the floor. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. It was so entertaining and so funny. I had to get the pens. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
It was awesome. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun.
It was funny.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Sunday night's going to be more of the same. So.
Yeah. So listen, folks. If you want to be entertained by all of us here at the Heart as well, you need to tune in to our telecast. We will entertain you as much as possible. So anyway, I want to wish Sarah and the ladies good luck with that show. I'm going to be tuning in, and it should be a fun show. It should be an insightful show, and we're going to have fun with that. So we're going to have fun on that, and of course, we're going to have fun on Sunday morning as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. That's going to put a bow on the wrestling experience. I want to thank Sarah for her time and her energy. This week, she did a phenomenal job. ladies and gentlemen. No pun intended, Denise. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be back in cyberspace just 24 hours from now with Minute. We'll present to you Friday night SmackDown. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see Sarah again on Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, for Raw. I hope you have a great weekend, Sarah, and enjoy your time. Yeah, thank you very much. And enjoy Blazed Radio.
Always.
I'm all, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for watching the Wrestling Experience powered by the Hardcore Sports. We will see you again in cyberspace tomorrow night for Friday Night SmackDown.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the Wrestling Experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.